Alrighty, man. Now that I've actually gotten caught up on talking about the Gamescom Frontiers trailer, we can now dive into a demo build. Well, actually, there are two demo builds in the case of Gamescom, and the first one is a public demo, but the second is under embargo, and nothing about it has been shared at this time, assuming anybody can even pull it off. I'm betting that Sega noticed that some screenshots and clips got snuck out the door at Summer Game Fest, so they likely beefed up security. But don't worry, we still have plenty of content to dive into on Twitter, as tons of screenshots and clips from the public demo have been shared. For this video, we're going to evaluate that content, or at least as much of it as is necessary, because some are similar to one another, and therefore not all of it will need to be covered, unless it features things like different camera angles, different parts of certain levels. The content needs to be distinct from one another. Before we get into this, a couple of things to note. First of all, I'm going strictly by the content that's being shared from the Sonic Frontiers fan-made Twitter and other accounts like Sonic Stadia, as some of their work has been shared through that page also. In addition, if I miss anything, I would like to ask you to send me a DM on Twitter about that content so I can cover it in my next video, because I would like to get around to all of it, or at least as much of it as possible. Without further ado, let's get into this. First up, the Cyberspace Stages. Yeah, I know, these are not meant to be the main draw to Sonic Frontiers, as is made highly evident by the way these have been designed, but I'm going to start with these because they're a hot topic right now, for reasons that you'll learn about soon enough if you aren't aware of them yet. From looking at the footage, I've only seen two stages, Green Hill Zone and Sky Sanctuary Zone. Why is that monitor called Omen? I'm mildly scared by this. I know that each cyberspace stage is meant to have 4 different variants, like with Green Hill for example, you're going to have 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and 1-4. If we assume Sky Sanctuary is the second stage, that one will be split into 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, and 2-4. And from looking through multiple clips for both stages, I've only seen one level layout per stage, so likely that demo build only includes the first act of both stages. From watching Green Hill Zone, I immediately noticed something. I don't know about you guys, but I played Sonic Unleashed way too often not to recognize Windmill Isle Act 1 when I see it. And so while watching this clip, I'm seeing the uncanny resemblance. They are virtually the same stage. This isn't necessarily bad, I just have a mixed opinion on this. I'm happy because any nods to Unleashed, I'll gladly take. I've been okay with Sega reusing legacy stages for Frontiers, especially for the sake of the storyline, but I wasn't thinking that they would take another step like this and wind up copying the level design from previous games right down to the last asset, and yet it feels like that's what they've done here. Luckily, they haven't adopted this strategy for every stage, as you'll see with Sky Sanctuary. It starts off decently, some platforming sequences here and there, and I've also noticed a lower pathway where you will find a red ring. But then it gives way to an abundance of dash rings, rails, and balloons that you use as stepping stones to get across death gaps. There was a little too much of all 3 of those things involved, and from watching the footage, it felt like Sonic wasn't really being challenged, except for having to switch between rails so that he didn't fall to his death, but that was about it. Quick update here guys. On further review, Sky Sanctuary 2-1 might in fact have borrowed from Windmill Isle Act 2, but not to the same extent as Green Hill 1-1, which doesn't even try to hide the fact that it ripped off Windmill Isle Act 1. For Sky Sanctuary, you'd have to be paying close attention to catch the similarities, but I think they are there. There just aren't as many, as I believe it has its fair share of differences also, or I could be blind. Nobody has reached a general consensus on this though, just thought I would add this in before getting this video out there. This makes me worried about how the rest of the cyberspace stages are going to look, but keep in mind we've only seen the first acts for both Sky Sanctuary and Green Hill. There is still plenty of room to see newer design choices, especially when you consider that we're supposed to get up to around like 30 cyberspace stages, and not all of these stages will come from Sonic Generations. So eventually, there's going to be some new mixed in with the old, or at least that's what I want to hope, because I won't lie, I was a little underwhelmed from the cyberspace footage. But don't get me wrong, I'm still every bit as hyped as I was when I posted my last video, and that hasn't changed. I was just hoping to see more from the cyberspace stages, but it is a demo build and we're still like 2.5 months in the game coming out, so makes sense they wouldn't want to show off too much all at once. And yes, the Cyberspace Stages come with ranks and multiple objectives. This was already disclosed by Game Informer, but it's nice to see those concepts in action. By the way, Sky Sanctuary has a vocal theme, though it does not use the original music. According to this post, it appears to contain more Moonlight Battlefield vibes like from Sonic Forces, and I do like that piece of music, so I'd definitely love to hear something like it for Sky Sanctuary. There aren't any samples of it floating around though, so we're not going to get to listen to it right now. What a bummer. It does make me wonder about the state of the Green Hill music though. Next up, the in-game HUD. I like how it's done here, leaves you with more space on the screen with which to appreciate your surroundings. When boosting, you see a small circle to the right of Sonic. Well, there's no denying it at this point, they're definitely taking notes from Breath of the Wild. Not that it's a bad thing to take notes from other games, in this case I think it works very well. And then when you're out in the open world area, you see to the lower left, your levels for each of your statistics. They're divided into your attack, your defense, your ring count, and your speed. And the maximum level that each one can reach is 99. Was kinda hoping they'd do what Sonic Speed Simulator did and let you level up as much as you like without any limits, but that probably wouldn't have been a good idea. At the upper left, you'll see your ring count, your vault keys, your portal gears, and what looks like hearts, which could only mean Amy's memory tokens. At the lower right, there's a speedometer, and at the upper right, there's an objective marker. This one here reads Find the Chaos Emerald, and you even got something straight at the top of the screen that describes how far off you are from your current goal. There's even a goal marker. Give me some nice Batman Arkham Knight vibes. Actually, it could be said for any Batman Arkham game, really. And god dang it, these Go-Go's are so cute! I just want to pet them, please! So yeah, they are going with a simplistic design for the user interface, and the same appears to hold true for the menu screens, including the skill tree and the options menu. They don't need to go with an over-the-top menu design, it just needs to be clear and understandable. That's all I need. While I'm mentioning the options menu, I want to point out that it comes with a difficulty setting and a slider for your starting speed. I think now's about that time to bust out the speed break from Secret Rings, huh?
Speed break!
Not a lot I have to say about the cutscenes, as they're mostly featured in screenshots, and whenever you do watch footage of those cutscenes, they're muted. So it don't do much to leave an impression on me, but these screenshots sure do. They convey that Sonic is undergoing a whirlpool of emotions when he's taking in what's happening, separated with friends, all alone on the island, and without a sense of purpose or what to do, at least until he runs into Sage and what appears to be another AI voice telling him to collect the Chaos Emeralds, stop the Titans, and break the walls between dimensions. My heart just hurt for him though, man. Look at this screenshot. Sonic looks like he's given up on everything. That's very unsettling. Now for the big question, what about the open zone gameplay? From the footage I've watched for it, it appears to be highly immersive and engaging. Combat looks free flow, I like. Locations look easy to get lost in, I like this even more. Look at the detail, man. And I've heard nothing but positive impressions. I don't think I've seen one negative review about it so far. Not one. That is crazy. Many have reported finding more enjoyment out of the open zone area than they did from the Cyberspace Stages, which is remarkable. It sounds like Sonic Frontiers is delivering on its main draw, the open zone gameplay. As if I didn't have enough reason to be excited for it, now they just keep adding to the list. Heck, one review even mentioned that they were initially unimpressed by the first trailer for Sonic Frontiers that came up back during June, but now after having played the game for themselves, they believe this will be one of the better 3D Sonic titles. When you've got somebody doing a 180 like that, you know Frontiers is looking good. I'd also like to mention that Sonic Stadium, one of the news outlets in the Sonic community, give them a follow, offered a review of Frontiers that is just as glowing, while squeezing in some notable facts. The stomp attack that modern Sonic has become known for now also comes with a bounce effect. As he lands on the stomp, he will bounce off the ground, and Sonic can perform a continuous bounce according to this post right here, simply by holding the bounce button down. Way to combine the Sonic Adventure 2 bounce with the modern Sonic stomp. I think it's going to lead to some fun results. In case you want to catch up on the rest of what Sonic Stadium reported on, I'll link their Twitter thread in the description below this video. Finally, we have here a graphic for the controls in Sonic Frontiers. I'm sure this is the default layout, but if I remember correctly, you can customize these, so if any of this layout isn't to your liking, you should be able to change it up. I'm not going to read through all of this, as I'm pretty sure you have eyes, but I do want to point out a couple of things, like the jump stomp that Sonic Stadium referred to earlier. While stomping, you can hold down the button in mid-air to jump stomp up to 3 times in a row, essentially the bounce. That's really nice. And if we look below that, we have a drop dash mapped to the A button. You hold down the A button after double jumping and you get the drop dash. Over where it says D-pad down, we have tips and training area. I'm guessing this is for the loading screen, as you can practice your gameplay in the loading screens, like say in Bayonetta, as so many have said. Pretty cool feature. There's also a map feature, which I forgot to mention during when I talked about the open zone gameplay earlier, but you can pull up a map screen while exploring the islands. Lastly, what interests me here is that the light speed dash has been mapped to L3, or pressing down on the left thumbstick, as if it's a button itself. Interesting choice here. I might find myself customizing this later on, but I'll give it a go and see how it works out for me. And it's worth noting that not all of these controls will be usable in cyberspace, as the graphic itself describes. Ah yes, here we have a description of 2 gameplay styles that you get to choose from. One is the action style, which comes with unlimited boost, lucky you, but it's slower in exchange. The other one is more suited for those like myself who are used to playing Sonic games. It's the high speed style. Comes with a limited boost, but it is faster. And speaking of the boost, perhaps it might be a stretch to call Sonic Frontiers partially a boost game, because I've noticed a surprisingly restrained usage of it, both in cyberspace and in the open zone. I'm not saying it's not being used at all, because it is, it just doesn't appear to be used as often as I normally see it whenever anybody plays a boost Sonic game. Unless that will change the more you level Sonic up, then the boost might get stronger and longer lasting as a result. At least that's one theory I have. Well, that is everything I have observed thus far, and let me say I am more than pleased. Everything is looking good. November 8th can't get here fast enough. Now, I'm sure there will be more content for me to review, and as it comes up, I will get around to it. But again, if I have missed anything and you would like me to point it out, I encourage you to recommend it in the comments below, or send me a message on Twitter, whichever you prefer. And that's gonna do it for this video. What did you think of the screenshots and gameplay that we've seen for Sonic Frontiers at Gamescom? Let me know your input in the comments down below. You know how this goes, I think, and I will see y'all next time. Be sure to ring that bell and hit that sub button, cause you aren't gonna want to miss any more Sonic Frontiers content from me or anyone else. I'll see you next time, peace out, and don't forget, blue blurs for life.